Hi everyone, welcome again to another String Crafts with Emma. Today we're going to do some more weaving. So get out your cardboard box loom, take out anything you might have stored in there, awkward, and let's talk about finishing our edges. So I'm reading a book, I need, a bookmark. Well, here we have a beautiful woven bookmark. So today we're going to talk about this technique of finishing the edges. Last week we made a blanket that had kind of fringe coming out all the sides. So this one's just going to have some fringe on the two ends. So the way you do this, take your loom, you measure out with your pair of scissors, conveniently nearby. I used 5 strings, so how many strings is up to you depending on how fat you want your bookmark to be. But for my bookmark here, I used 5 strings. So I measure out the long way across 5 times. 4, 5. And then, this is just like last time. I stretch them across like this. Here we are. This is not using all of the tick marks on this side, so that I have a skinnier bookmark. In addition, you can take your tiniest stuffed animal and give them a nice little scarf. Regardless, so you take your other color string. Don't cut this one. Measure out as long as you can reasonably handle, and then tack the end in the middle. So it's still attached to the ball of yarn. That's important. So now we start our weaving. La-di-da. So I've gone over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. But now I have, it's like weird, like, oh no, this end isn't all the way through. So after every stitch, you have to pull the end all the way through. Bend the end again. Go under, over, under, over, under, over. Pull it all the way through. When you pull it tight, you'll notice that the strings kind of get bowed in the middle. That's okay, that's normal. You can see I started this one, and then I got a little lazy down here with how tight I pulled it, so it got a little fatter and then a little skinnier again. That's okay too, but do try to maintain a consistent distance for your strings to be at. So then, keep going with this string in this direction, going over, under, pull all the way through, and then under, over, under, over, pull all the way through. So you can see that I'm just going through with this same string and weaving through like we practiced last week, and then weaving back. So once I run out of this string, I'll keep going over, under, all the way until I run out of this string. When I've run out of this side, see how I started in the middle? That's important, because now we're going to take as long as you can possibly handle on this side and start going this way. So now I have this, and I go under, over, pull all the way through. So now you can see that I'm weaving from both sides. So that way we'll get the most possible distance without having to handle a string that's like so annoyingly long. You're like pulling and pulling. So this is how we're avoiding that. We're going to start in the middle. So you do your weaving. Let's say, I know this is the tiniest woven thing ever, but let's not sit here while I weave. So how you finish it off is really easy. When you've run out of string on both of these sides, you take your strings off the loom on one side, tie them in a big knot, just like our friendship bracelets, trying to get them as close to your weaving as possible. So here's my big old knot. Then you take the other side and you tie it in a big old knot. Here you have your finished string. It will look like this. Right? A beautiful bookmark, tiny scarf. Maybe you glue some googly eyes onto it and it's a little flat snake. Up to you. Happy weaving!